My parents and sister pushed me and my 6-year-old son off a cliff, but what happened next was unbelievable. My name is Mary. I'm a nurse. I live in a small town in Ohio with my husband, Thomas, and our 6-year-old son, Aiden. Life was simple. I went to work, came home, and spent time with my family. But recently, Thomas started acting strange. He came home late. He worked weekends. I tried not to think too much, but something felt off. One weekend, my parents invited me, Aiden, and my sister Linda on a hike. Thomas said he had to work again. I packed snacks, water, and a small first aid kit. Aiden was excited, but the road my dad took was unfamiliar. He said it led to a quiet trail. When we arrived, no one else was there. Then, when we were at the cliff, suddenly they pushed us. Lying on the cold ground, with my arms wrapped tightly around my son, I felt more than just physical pain. My leg throbbed, my arm was numb, and my whole body ached, but none of that hurt as much as what I felt inside. Betrayal. Deep, sharp, soul-breaking betrayal. My husband, my sister, my parents, all of them had worked together to kill me, to kill my 6-year-old son. And for what? Money. It didn't feel real at first. I wanted to believe it was all a bad dream. But the blood on my hands, the broken branches around us, the pain in my bones, it was all real. And Aiden's little body trembling beneath mine reminded me of why I had to keep going. I told him not to move. We had to be still. We had to pretend we were gone. I didn't know if they were still up there, watching. I couldn't risk it. We waited until the voices from the cliff faded. Then, very slowly, I lifted my head. Every movement sent shocks of pain through me. My leg was twisted at a bad angle. My arm dangled uselessly. But I didn't care. Aiden was safe. He was alive. That was all that mattered. "I'm going to help you, Mom," he whispered. I looked at him, and for a second, I forgot all the horror. His little face was smudged with dirt, his lip trembling, but his eyes, those beautiful eyes, were calm and full of courage. I nodded. With shaky hands, Aiden gathered sticks and branches. He tried to make a crutch. I watched him, amazed. This small boy, only 6 years old, was doing what grown men would struggle to do. He helped me sit up, then helped me stand. I nearly fainted from the pain, but I held on. I had to. We began to move, step by step. The forest around us was dark, silent, and full of shadows. Each step felt like fire in my bones. I bit down hard on my lip to keep from screaming. I couldn't fall again. I couldn't let Aiden down. He held my hand the whole time. Sometimes he walked ahead, checking the path. Sometimes he stood beside me, helping me balance. Every time I wanted to give up, he looked at me and said, "We're going to make it, Mom. We have to." Hours passed. The night felt endless. My watch had broken in the fall, so I had no idea what time it was. The trees looked the same in every direction. There were moments I thought we were walking in circles, but we kept going. At one point, I collapsed near a fallen log. My head spun. My lips were dry. I couldn't move. "Just a minute," I told Aiden. "I just need to rest." He sat next to me and leaned his head on my shoulder. "I'm not tired, Mom," he said, though I could see his eyes struggling to stay open. We rested for a while. Then, with his help, I stood again. Finally, just as the sky began to lighten, we reached a wider trail. I recognized it. It was part of the main hiking path. Relief hit me so hard I nearly cried. Then, in the distance, I saw movement. A couple was walking, holding hands, talking quietly. I called out, but my voice cracked. I tried again. "Please, help us." They ran toward us. The woman dropped her backpack and knelt beside me. "Oh my God," she said. "Are you okay?" I didn't answer at first. I just kept holding Aiden. Then I whispered, "They tried to kill us." The woman looked at her partner. He pulled out his phone and called for help. They wrapped us in blankets, gave us water, and stayed with us until the ambulance arrived. At the hospital, the doctor checked us both. My leg and arm were broken. I had deep bruises, a cracked rib, and internal bleeding. But I would survive. Aiden had a few scratches and bruises. That's all. The doctor said I had shielded him with my body. I broke so he didn't. When the police came, I told them everything.
I told them about the hike.
About how my dad picked up Aiden near the cliff. About how my mother pushed me. About how Linda grabbed me. And how we fell. I also told them what I heard from the cliff after we landed. How they said they'd get the insurance money. How Linda said she and Thomas were finally free. Aiden gave a statement too. He told the officer about the phone calls he overheard, how he heard his dad and aunt talking in secret. He had heard them talk about getting rid of mom and starting over. It was enough. Thomas, Linda, and my parents were arrested the next morning. I was still in the hospital when I got the news. I didn't cry. I didn't even feel shocked. I just stared at the ceiling and thought, why? Why would they do this to us? Later, during the trial, I sat in a wheelchair and faced them all. Thomas wouldn't look at me. Linda did, but with cold eyes. My parents looked ashamed, but not sorry. I told the court everything. How they betrayed me. How they tried to kill their own daughter and grandson. I didn't raise my voice. I just told the truth. Aiden testified too. He looked so small in the courtroom, but his voice was clear. Grandma pushed my mom, he said. Grandpa held me too close to the cliff. Aunt Linda talked to Dad about bad things. I heard them. There wasn't a single dry eye in the room when he finished. In the end, the jury found them all guilty. Thomas and Linda were sentenced to 25 years for attempted murder. My parents each got 15. The judge called it one of the most heartless crimes he had ever seen. After the trial, I didn't go back to my old home. Too many memories. Too much pain. Instead, Aiden and I moved to Colorado. A fresh start. I got a job at a small clinic. The staff was kind. The town was peaceful. Aiden started at a new school. He made friends. He smiled more. We were healing little by little. One day, the school principal, David, came to the clinic. He told me how well Aiden was doing. He's smart, kind, and strong, he said. I smiled and told him, he's my pride. David started visiting more often. Not just to talk about Aiden. We talked about life, about parenting, about second chances. He had gone through hard times too. Over time, I started to trust him. I had forgotten what it felt like to talk to someone without fear. On Aiden's 8th birthday, we had a small party. David came. My friend Martha baked a cake. Aiden's classmates brought little gifts. There was laughter in our home. For the first time in a long time, I felt safe. As I watched Aiden play, I thought back to that terrible night in the forest. The pain, the fear, the fall. But we had survived it. Together. We had climbed out of the darkest place. Hand in hand. And now, here we were, alive, free, and stronger than ever. I may never understand how the people who raised me could betray me like that. But I don't let it control me anymore. Because I found something better. Real love. Real family. Real peace. And I'll never let anyone take that from us again.